and a staff that's warmer. Island bakeries, good to the last crumb. We also have island-wide delivery buses, outlets at the industrial site Bay Road and on 4th Street, opening hours from 5 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Easy no man. Island bakeries, good to the last crumb. Island bakeries, good to the last crumb.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20, win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
St. Kitts, are you ready to invest with UTC GBFL?
Wait, UTC GBFL? What is that all about?
It's the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited, your passport to investing in global markets, stocks, bonds, and opportunities worldwide, all within your reach.
So I can really start investing money?
Yes, and the best part, you can start with just 100 US or EC equivalent. Investing isn't just for the big players, it's for you. Whether you are seeking the potential to build wealth, secure your future, or chase your dreams, now is the time. Do it for you. Now, visit utcgbfl.com to get started today. UTC GBFL. Invest for tomorrow. Do it for you. An investor should consider a fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses before investing with the full knowledge that an investor may not get back the amount invested. The price of the units may increase or decrease, or that there may be circumstances where redemption of units may be suspended. This and other important information can be found in the fund's prospectus, which is available on our website, www.utcgbfl.com. The Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission has not in any way evaluated the merits of the securities offered.
If you live in low-lying areas, be aware of the possibility of tsunamis immediately after an earthquake. A strong earthquake lasting 20 seconds or more is a natural tsunami warning. Do not wait for an official warning. Gather your family members and evacuate immediately after the shaking stops. Don't delay. A tsunami could occur within minutes.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
At the realest song.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, and how are you doing this morning? To the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, a pleasant good morning. To the regional and international diaspora, good morning. It's another hump day. It is July the 30th. It is actually the second to last day of the seventh month of this year. If you're listening to us, we are on your FM dial at 98.9. We're being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Just to remind you of our numbers, if you wish to join in on the topic or bring something to the fore, it's 466-0989, 1305-921, 4619, or 1718-285-6984, or 0333-440065. Good morning, Quint. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm trying to be better than yesterday, as I say all the time. I don't know where time is going. The days are going fast, too fast. And to remind our listening audience, or just to inform you, we will be having an interview this morning with Mr. Sherwin Gardner from the Department of Environment as they continue the no plastic ban along with the styrofoam ban. We know tomorrow is the last day when it comes to distribution and sale of the styrofoam, and hopefully by year end we can get rid of all of those items and just use everything reusable. As I said, my least favorite part of this is the paper straws, but I went to establishment that have bamboo straws that are just as strong as the plastic straws. So if everybody could get bamboo straws, I will be grateful, but I can't tell everybody how to run their business. They know what they must do. They know what their books look like. I really don't know. Quint, I don't know if you saw it, but I saw that a magnitude 8.8 earthquake hit off Russia. I think Japan was on tsunami warning. The U.S. on tsunami warning. I even saw folks in Hawaii packing up their truck and various items and heading their cars, heading to higher grounds, heading to the mountains, because as I read a story, I saw one young lady said it reminded her of the fire that they had 2 years ago. And leaving her home, but as she said, what you can do, you can't cry, you have to go and take care of yourself. You know, you can always rebuild, but let me tell you, she said she watched the waters recede and she knew what happened, but the warnings have since quelled. But they still have to be careful. They're warned to stay away from the shores. The water supply was turned off to protect any damage, but it seems that it didn't turn out the way it was supposed to turn out. Thank God for his many blessings.
Yeah, you never know how the Almighty Creator is going to work things, you know. So fortunately, let's give thanks. That it didn't turn out bad, because we know when those things turn out bad, it's really disastrous.
It's really bad, But it shocked me. I know Russia's not too far from Alaska, but then it shocked me because it says wave hits U.S. West Coast after Russian earthquake as Japan lifts tsunami warnings. I really didn't realize it's so interconnected. Wow.
Well, the whole world is, because remember, the oceans are linked, really, you know, so.
Wow. Let me tell you. Oh, and then I see more than 1,000 people arrested over deadly Angola fuel protests. And I saw, where was it I saw? Something about the cost of living. I'm trying to remember which country that was. And I don't think I sent that that particular article to myself. And it says Greece warns of invasion as well as it halts asylum on Medroute. Wow. See, the next headline is that Russian soldiers scammed and robbed of war cash on return from Ukraine. Let me see what they mean with this. Let me see what they mean with this. Wow.
We don't know about the war engagement and the spoils of war. Britain and Europe, they benefited from those rules years ago, in the days of piracy and all that kind of stuff.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. The victor gets the spoils. You never heard that?
Yeah, but these soldiers were promised something, and once they got injured and they returned home, they got nothing. I saw one couple says they had hoped to buy a flat with the money the husband would have made fighting in the war.
You mean a Russian soldier?
Somebody that fought for Russia.
Well, I'm not going to dig into Russian politics or anything. There are things that I will touch on. There are things that sometimes I just leave alone.
Oh, boy. Oh, what a life. What a life. I tell you. There's just a lot going on in the world this morning. I don't know if you saw the article where the lovely president over there in the north, he wants to deal with Oprah, Al Sharpton, and Beyonce. And there's one more person I'm forgetting out of the lot. Because he said his opponent, he said they paid these people to endorse her campaign. So he wants to, I guess, file charge.
Well, he can do whatever he wants, but if you do something against him, remember this is rivalry, right? But you can't do any. You're just supposed to stand with your hands to your side and just let him win. Don't do anything, but he can do anything. We have a caller.
People are supposed to endorse each other. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Good morning, Quince.
Good morning. Good to hear you. Haven't heard you in a
Yes,
while.
I've been listening to you all,
Yeah.
And the Bible said, because iniquity will abound. Things don't get so bad.
I heard you recently on another station with Edinburgh, giving him some problems as usual.
On Sunday night, he comes on from 6:30, but he want to talk the whole time.
Yeah.
And then just leave 5 minutes. But we get along,
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's how intelligent people behave.
Most definitely.
Because in 2010, I don't know if you know, we used to have Inside the News, Mr. Bacchus, and
Yeah.
a whole table. Every party, only man had the party. Ham had people, Labour had people, PLP had people, Nevis had people. And it was good. That is how we really should do, have a discussion.
Yes, that's how it should be.
That's how we should be.
Yeah.
That's how intelligent people behave.
Yes.
Not one person talk and that's the end of the conversation. Because there's more than one side to every story.
Most definitely.
And in our case, a lot of us do not like statistics. So before we speak, we don't look up the information.
Yeah.
We say whatever is the party line, whether it makes sense or not,
Yeah.
Anyway, call for Cartensia.
Hi.
I heard your name in a death announcement yesterday.
Yes.
So I want to send condolences to you and your husband and all of the family of Mr. Carty.
Oh, Mr. Nicholas.
Nick.
Yeah, Mr. Nicholas, yeah. The Carty is me, my husband, and some of his other family, but he's Nicholas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
I knew a Nicholas lady used to come to our church,
Which church you used to go to?
Emberton, from Sandy Point.
Oh, I'm not sure.
With a red-skinned woman,
Oh, no.
She was way into her 90s. That's quite a while.
Because his wife was...
Miss Pemberton, her daughter died the other day.
Oh.
Anyway, when you saw these get announcement, you go to listen to them, So me and the person is my cousin.
So you and him are related?
No. I'm a husband, a free man, a pain. at Jeffers.
Oh.
Anybody who is related to them.
Okay.
Not too sure I know man. I know a man, the name Nick, had a rum shop down on George Street, right next to the Hope Chapel.
Yeah, but that's not him.
Eh?
That's not him.
I know. Cause when I listen to this, I say, But condolences.
Thank you.
And we encourage people, whether you believe or not, all of us going the same route,
Yeah.
We either going up or we going down.
Or we might
and,
go...
every day the news get worse. That is why the Bible says, when iniquity abound, when things come bad to us. Last week we listened to the House of Assembly. Increased the penalty. 40 years for armed robbery. And then I heard on the news, weekend there were 2.
Yep.
I mean, if you're 30 years and 40, you're coming out when you're 70, you're going to creep out.
If you get out at all. Because we don't know if you get sick in there or something could happen to you.
But Sylvian, usually you've heard them go and legislate certain things, and then you hear a case and you hear the magistrate or whomever give them way below what is. This is only a recommended maybe maximum
I know,
or
but
something.
what I am saying, if you have that kind of plan in mind, and you heard it, because what they give you depends on your behavior, I mean, really? You don't care? Then thing we're talking about in Antigua. 3 gunmen robbed an 81-year-old woman.
Wickedness, I say, wickedness. When I saw that.
It's increasing.
Yeah, people really
you don't got to worry about Donald Trump, Every country got a Donald Trump. Everybody feel that before God is them, or after God is them. And they don't care what they do. Somebody sang us, I think it's Montana sing, that they vote for. Sing a song on Trump, have you heard it?
No.
It's a calypso.
Okay.
He said yes. They vote to get deported.
Yeah, well, he was saying that long before he got elected.
And that was my point.
Yeah.
He didn't hide. Yeah, he didn't hide at all.
That's what he's saying. Sometimes people say, yes, give them 40 years. Next thing you hear, just us. Yes, hang them. Next thing that child who you're tired talk to. Go and do things. We don't want it.
Well, I'm a parent. I sure as heck wouldn't want any of my sons to, or any of my children to get involved in certain things. But if it happens, what can I do? I mean, it would be sad, but.
No, I don't tell mine. Look, hello. If I got to take you off of the bench once, if you fight whether you think you're right or you're wrong, do not call me. Do not call me. Because the Bible says, if you refuse and you rebel, you shall die by the edge of the sword. You might get to there sometime, but you ain't not listen to anybody. You listen to your own friends, sometimes smarter than you, set you up.
Yeah.
They look for who they consider the weakest and the poorest.
Yeah. Just recently, I was speaking to a young man, and I told him the same thing, because he was saying, "Oh, you know how much of my friends tell me this, and how much of my friends tell me that." And I said, "Your friends look at you, and they envy you, and a lot of them behind your back, they want to see you fall." Yeah.
Miss Henry.
Hello.
I just
of them behind your back. They want to see you fall.
Miss Henry.
Hello.
I just again.
You see what I mean? I tell you.
Wow.
Lord Jesus, have mercy in our country. We really got to pray for this country. Who want to pray? Joshua said, look, when the Jews came out of Egypt, a lot of them had brought out the Egyptian gods. And Joshua said, look, this day, we're going into Canaan. This day, choose who you will serve. He didn't say you must serve God. He said, if you want the gods them that you had before in Egypt, that is you. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
We will serve the Lord.
God. And that is how it is.
Yep.
You hear, when you kill a man and you go home, you know, they have a song they say, you can't wash the blood off your hand.
Yeah.
How did you sleep last night? I love that song, you know, you must see if you can find it. That's a Siddiqui song.
Yeah,
Remember
I wonder how you sleep at night. Oh, I wonder
how did you sleep last night?
Yep.
You're climbing over the man's fence. You're killing the man and you're trying to wash off.
Yep.
That's not Jamaica say. You can't wash the blood off your hand. You wash your hand with even Clorox, you still have one red. Why are you standing up, you know, and then you live to regret it? You know, as you get older, you analyze things. When we're young, we're reckless, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why something God has given us mercy and chance. Because you know we're ignorant. You know we're ignorant. And he don't just knock us down the first time.
He ain't coming on at 9.
So we pray for our young people. Young people take warning. Take warning. I just pray in the morning, Lord, cut off from around my children. All who the enemy pin on them. God, pin them. Cut all the string that they're attached to my children and grandchildren. Because some people, when they can't get you down, they go after your children. So may the Lord have mercy on us. May the Lord have mercy on the murderer. And have mercy on the murderer and the family. And all of your parents out there, I'm not now under my preaching now. Who does demand retaliation from your children? Or they killed your brother, you got to kill somebody for them. You are no better than the killer. You know that?
Yep.
Trevor hit you, so you got to hit him back.
Yep.
And the circle continue. Nobody wins the one. Nobody wins.
No one.
Somebody Lord have mercy in our country. Our leaders, God, they don't engage in hit back. This one do, Labour do, Palm do that, do that, do that, do. And everybody must do. Well, we're not getting anywhere.
Well, Miss Henry, I'm not one who doesn't who agrees that you shouldn't hit back sometimes. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say should go to the extent of murder and all that kind of stuff. But
you said in your child, talking about murder, you know.
Oh, okay.
Your child get murdered, and the parents of the child often demand that one of the siblings retaliate.
Yeah.
Even the people say, are you going to take it? I mean, why are you going to take it? You understand?
Yeah, and it never ends.
Are you going to let him get away with it?
Yeah, and it never ends. It just keeps going on.
Nobody saying mercy.
Yeah.
So we pray for our nation, you know?
Yeah.
Pray for our nation. God bless you. Condolences again.
Thank you, Miss Henry.
Yeah.
To all of your relatives.
Take
and all
care.
of the grieving.
Yeah.
And all of the sick and the suffering and whatever you are this morning, look to God.
Amen.
Yeah. Take care. Yeah. So we'll take a bit of a commercial break and we'll be right back.
You found the sound 98.9 WIN-FM.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skellek got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your home's electricity. Ensure that there are no trees in the lines near you. If you are experiencing low voltage, turn off the main switch in your home. Do not touch wet appliances. Be sure to stay tuned to Skellek's Facebook page and website for updates about the outages and restoration. For emergencies, our contact numbers are 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. I repeat, 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. Remember, with Skellek's hurricane safety tips, together we can weather the storm.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. With CIBC Caribbean Land Financing, you can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it.
St. Kitts, are you ready to invest with UTC GBFL?
Wait, UTC GBFL? What is that all about?
It's the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited, your passport to investing in global markets, stocks, bonds, and opportunities worldwide, all within your reach.
So I can really start investing money?
Yes, and the best part, you can start with just 100 US or EC equivalent. Investing isn't just for the big players, it's for you. Whether you are seeking the potential to build wealth, secure your future, or chase your dreams, now is the time. Do it for you. Now, visit utcgbfl.com to get started today. UTC GBFL. Invest for tomorrow. Do it for you. An investor should consider a fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses before investing with the full knowledge that an investor may not get back the amount invested. The price of the units may increase or decrease, or that there may be circumstances where redemption of units may be suspended. This and other important information can be found in the fund's prospectus, which is available on our website, www.utcgbfl.com. The Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission has not in any way evaluated the merits of the securities offered.
From the time that you taste it, man, you know that is greatness. Some ice in your cup, tell your friends link up. You know that we like it. Sing down the bartender. No, we don't need chaser, but if you want, it could mix with anything. We drinking Stones ginger wine, the original ginger wine. We drinking like I say, Stones ginger wine. Greatness is forever.
Carifesta is sound and movement. Carifesta is soca and bouillon, ska and spooge, reggae and dancehall, kaiso, zouk and ring bang, compa, rumba and rakatuk. The rhythms of the region, made with love and pure Caribbean energy. Come for Carifesta 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carifesta.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, good morning. Once again, welcome back to Island Tea. For those of you joining us in studio, we have with us Mr. Sherwin Gardner from the Department of Environment as we continue the No Plastic Now, No Styrofoam campaign. So, Mr. Gardner, welcome back, and let's dive right into it.
All right, thanks for having me.
A pleasure always.
Of course, it's a pleasure being here to, speak on some issues that the department has going on that we think the general public should know, and we should, and that the general public should be updated on and keeping abreast on. So I'm here again, and on the eve of the ban as it relates to sale and distribution to some of the single-use plastic items that are included in the single-use plastic ban. And just for a reminder, of course, persons know that St. and Nevis has undertaken a significant step towards sustainability and plastic reduction by implementing a single-use plastic ban where we chose some of the more hazardous and troubling items as it relates to St. We chose some of them and aiming to eradicate them from circulation in St. Kitts. And it began on December the 31st, where we had a ban on the importation of single-use plastic item T-shirt shopping bags. And then 3 months after that, on April the 30th, March the 31st, my mistake, there was a ban on the sale and distribution, and that's the strategy we took, the ban on the importation, and 3 months after, a grace period, and of course opportunity for citizens to get a customer, be prepared for the ban and the sale and distribution of the same item. And today we're here because tomorrow, July 31st, there will be a ban on the sale and distribution of styrofoam food containers, styrofoam equates, and the infamous plastic straws. So we just want to keep the momentum going. We want to do a part in pushing public awareness and keeping the public updated on what's going on so that there is better compliance.
All right. So I see you've brought some, how should I say, some items, I guess, to demonstrate, to show
examples.
Folks what they can use to replace. Because I know everybody's complaining, we really ain't going to use them with this, how we food going to hold, these containers, this shrivel. So show the folks what you've got and explain to them the benefits of them.
Of course, I brought some examples of some alternatives for food containers. We have here the paper-based food container right here, and they are already in circulation. Now, there are different qualities, of course. Some are more durable than others. So, and they're quite efficient. These are the items that are being used all around the world. They are being used here right now, and I think persons will realize that they are compatible, suitable alternatives. So I just want to brought some. The department actually went out and got a bunch of alternatives because we wanted to make certain that
even a bowl.
Yes, even a bowl. We wanted to make certain that we are not asking persons to paper.
These are the paper ones.
Yeah, the paper ones, and some of them, of course, like I said, some are also can be made from plant starch. And of course, the paper, they are different qualities. Some of them are stronger, thicker, more firm than others. So yes, they're quite durable.
So even though they're made of paper, when you put like soups or whatever, it's not gonna disintegrate and fall apart?
No. What we have here right now, if persons are able to see this is one of the soup.
Bring it across in front of your face.
Oh,
yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
This is an example of the soup bowls or the soup cups. This is a small one that's in circulation. And this is, of course, they're better quality up there, but I got up this morning and I placed some, I wouldn't say hot water, I placed some warm water, I drank my tea and then I placed some warm water in it and I said, I'm going to keep it. And that's how water, I placed some warm water, I drank my tea and then I placed some warm water in it and I said, I'm going to keep it. And that's how on Minister 77, I'm going to keep the water here and I'm going to bring it to the radio station to show persons that
it's quite
liquid
durable.
is
And
exactly.
I think when you came into the studio, I saw you demonstrating to Hortensia and feeling whether it was warm still or what.
Nature resistance to change. So nature resistance to change. So
that's true.
Yeah, definitely. So we at the department, like I said, we have a bunch of these at the persons. Now look at there's such opportunities here because what do you think? Is it easier for a person to say, hey, I want to get into the business of, producing some sort of utensils, and being that they're no longer using styrofoam, etc. I think the production of these alternatives will be much easier because the technology wouldn't be as expensive. I think someone here could actually start a small business and start providing
one of my colleagues, he made a point. He's not here to represent it, but I'm going to represent it for him. He was speaking to the fact that, okay, so yes, you've got paper, it's good, it's biodegradable, but what he was saying is that now you're going to kill more trees to produce that, and when you kill the trees, you're, in a sense, if you continue killing the trees, you're going to kill the humans, because we accentuate each other. We breathe out what they breathe in. We breathe in what they breathe out. So what is your answer to that?
And that's a very good point. And it brings me to this. I don't know how old a person is, but I'm sure if the person is, 40s, like myself, the person would have been living when we never had styrofoams. All we used was paper. Even plastic was a taboo. We never saw plastics. It was paper bags all over. And there was a sustainable initiative that basically supported the production of these items through lumber, through trees, which means when the trees were removed, the companies had an obligation to replant the trees.
Yeah, but the companies don't always follow, because we see in the Amazon, you hear what is happening and so forth. All around the world, they go on these big, just destroying, and they don't plant back as they should.
Yes, and that's the thing. The UN as a whole, like I think, the UN as a whole, like I said, it's 150 plus countries are on board. Governments are on board. They have noticed this, and they have rethought making the decision of introducing plastic and basically easing the
paper base,
easing the obligation of these companies, because what companies if you're a company, your objective is to produce more but to cut costs. And a lot of these companies are cutting costs through reforestation because they said it cost them a lot. It was very expensive for them, so they wanted to find a way to be exempted from that obligation. So, I don't want to say over the years it transformed into if you, invest, if you do this for charity, there were loopholes where people could get away from actually replanting and doing these sustainable acts to make sure that these resources are available and we have a sustainable
planet.
And that's what we are going back to. These companies are going to have to meet the obligation of doing that. Yes, it's kind of, we let the monkey run wild and the between the food and the food plantation.
You see, one of the problem has been this. They put these things into place, and the culprits, the main culprits, are the bigger countries, and no one can penalize the bigger countries like the United States and certain places in Europe and so forth. And that is why they were not enforced. So how are they going to reinforce it now that we still have the issue with the bigger countries? They're the ones who are polluting the planet on a massive scale, and who can penalize them?
That's because right now, the initiative, the bigger countries are actually on board. The only country that's kind of being everybody know who they are. United States, all right? They're the one, of course, we heard Trump saying he's going to bring back the plastic. They're the one who, most of the larger countries are on board now because they realize the significance of taking action right now. This is not something, bigger companies, their objective is to make money, but you can't make money if the planet is dying and the customers are dying. You understand? So they actually have a incentive to actually support this initiative. And like I said, they are on board. And like I said, it's not just about banning hazardous products or materials from the environment. It's also about changing the mentality,
mindset,
the way people think about things, and to incorporate eco-friendly practices within our daily lives. Eco-friendly practices and protecting the environment shouldn't be something taboo, or shouldn't be something that we are struggling to enforce or struggling to implement or be a part of.
I agree with you.
It should be something as natural as waking up and brushing your teeth, or as natural as breathing, because this is where we live, and that is what the Sustainable Island State is about, etc. And speaking on that, that guy who spoke about the topic that I was speaking on before you, I was saying it is much easier for locals or persons here to actually start a business where they're providing paper-based cups now and paper-based containers, because it won't need the technology and all these significant knowledge to make that styrofoam. All right, and the making of these items won't be hazardous to the environment or to the planet. A lot of people don't understand that. I want people to understand that not only are the styrofoams, disposal of them, hazardous, and the material itself is hazardous, making them is also pretty impactful to the environment. Exactly. So these are they are actually secondary advantages to banning these items. So yes, that is something that we want the public to know. And also, while we're here, and I'm speaking about the opportunity for persons to maybe get involved in maybe starting a company, some sort of business that can support the production of these alternative items. There are subsidies and there are opportunities where you can be financially supported through programs that are there and available for persons. One of them is a program right now going on called the CCAF. That's the Community Climate Adaptation Facility funding. And persons who are listening or who basically hear my voice right now, if you are interested in starting maybe a business or you have an idea that supports sustainability, whether it's schools, whether it's community NGOs, whether it's an individual within the community, you guys can visit the department social media handle, Facebook. You guys can also visit Senator Clark's Facebook page, and also Constituency Empowerment Facebook page, or call into the department to inquire about the CCAF opportunity and funding project, where you can be eligible to be granted up to $10,000 to start anything that is with climate resilience, and that basically benefits the Federation as it relates to sustainability moving forward. So the CCAF, keep that in mind. So if you guys call at the Department of Environment or maybe the Ministry or Constituency Empowerment, you guys are inquiring about the CCAF, that is a Community Climate Adaptation Facility funding. Applications are available when you web page and you scroll through, you'll see it, and it has all the relevant information there. There's a QR code that you can scan that will take you directly to it. And the launch of the Community Climate Action Facility invites applicants from eligible groups to address climate adaptation projects for climate resilience. CCAF aims to empower communities to address climate impact by providing funding support for local initiatives. And remember, one of the 7 pillars of the Sustainable Island CISA is, well, actually, one of the STDs is sustainable communities. All right? And one of the 7 pillars is of our sustainable movement is also what we call circular economy and sustainable industries, and this is something that we're trying to promote and give a startup to, give a footing to a foundation to persons who have these ideas but are unable to move forward because of funding. And we would like persons to take advantage of this opportunity. A lot of people think that the movement to sustainability is taken away and not given, but we want persons to realize that we're not just doing this, we're not putting persons in an awkward position or making their lives more harder without providing some incentives and opportunities that would ease these burdens. So please, persons who are listening, check out the CCAF opportunity, and I'm sure that's something that will definitely be pleasant and auspicious going forward.
All right, so let me ask about the styrofoam items. When is the last time food establishments in particular can use these products? Because we know they can't buy them.
Today. They're banned from this sale and banning sale and distribution starts tomorrow, July 31st. So today.
You mean the last time they can buy, or the last time they can use?
The last time they can. It doesn't make sense to buy anymore, because if you buy, they'll have to stay there.
Okay, so if you have a stock, when in this year am I not supposed to have styrofoam items coming out of my business establishment?
From tomorrow. Today is the last. That's the thing. That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. Persons, when was the ban on importation? That was on April 30th. Mm-hmm. We have April, May, June, July. That's basically, you could say, four months to adjust. And persons who are saying that, hey, I have a stock. I don't think the issue here is the ban. I think the issue here is your planning and your preparation, because if you know that on this date you won't be able
to send that
to sell that product, that means you're putting yourself in a unfair and disadvantage.
At a disadvantage.
Yeah, at a disadvantage by ordering or keeping more stock than you think you would need.
But no, I think it's not about the sale and the distribution. I sell food, Mr. Gardner. Mm-hmm. So I have a stock of styrofoam containers in my cupboard. Mm-hmm. So as of today, I cannot send people out the door with my food in styrofoam containers?
As of tomorrow, today is the last day. Tomorrow you cannot sell food in styrofoam containers. And
I thought it was just the distributors. I thought I had till December maybe. No, and I don't sell food, so don't come looking for me to find me.
No, I can't believe you're saying that I came here. How much time I came here?
I don't know why I'm thinking that I probably have until December 31 or something like that to sell out all my food and my containers.
You really sell food?
No, I don't. That's why I said don't come and look for me.
I'm saying, that's why I'm saying, if you really sold food and we're here speaking so often about the ban and you got caught up, I think that's your fault.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But why did I think in my head that, okay, the sale and distribution is July 31st. Done with that. Nobody sell that. Nobody go buy that. So whatever you have in your cupboard, you're selling food, you could use that out until December 31st. And then January morning, come fresh, we have nothing to do with that.
Sale and distribution, which means the retailers can sell and no one can
is
distribute.
allowed to distribute.
Yes.
Oh wow! I thought it just applied to the retailers.
No, that's why sale and the distribution. You know, anyway, retailers that's giving away, just distributing food containers.
No, but I didn't think of it like that. I just put it together as one. Like you're selling and then you go drop it off.
The good thing though, we've been in constant stakeholder consultation.
Okay.
So one thing you will never find, the providers of these items, you'll never find the providers complaining, saying they are not aware and they are not prepared and they haven't made the necessary adjustments, because we've been in contact with them and we've been making sure that, hey guys, are you guys prepared? Remember, you are the one who persons are going to be coming to for these alternatives. Do you have alternative on stock? And that is why I told you, for every phase, the department goes out and makes sure, like I say, you go up right now and you go in one of the room, you see stocks of these on the table. We got them from Rams, we got them from Delhi Walwins. They are available, so I don't think persons are going to have a problem with. The thing is that maybe there might be one supermarket who might just go and buy up almost everything just to make sure that they have. So persons, if you guys were listening and you guys are prepared, you guys should have already have this stock of alternative for styrofoam, food containers, egg crates, and plastic straws.
I'm glad I asked that question, because I'm sure somebody's thinking, oh, that only applies to the person that sells the styrofoam in stock and not me, because I can just get rid of mine before the year is done.
Now the time is approximately 8:49, and our agreement was that the individual will come, lay down the groundwork, explain, but my phone lines have always been going crazy, but I could not indulge because we have a prior agreement.
Yes.
So what I want you to do is, bearing in mind that we have only about 11 more minutes, I want you to inform when you're going to take calls.
The calls can come in right now, but let me say this. Another initiative I must point out is the recycling project that's been going on in St. Kitts. We want persons to know that we have expanded the recycling project. Before, we took plastic bottles and metal cans, and now it's been expanded to cardboard. So all the businesses that using cardboards, of course, we know the amount of box containers that businesses use around St. Kitts. We've made provision for these cardboards to be recycled, so we want persons to be aware of that. Now the federation is recycling plastic bottles, cardboard, you can say paper, but cardboard, and metal cans. Also, right now, in collaboration with the Department of Environment, Solid Waste, and Taiwan Technical Mission, though basically these are the entities that are supporting the recycling project. Right now we have a public awareness campaign going on where we are visiting the camps. There are various camps that are going on right now with young people. We're visiting the camps and educating them on environment conservation. We've already visited camps in Nevis. We also visited immersive. I forgot the name, and Peak Camp. But we have done some visitation, and these camps are involved in a recycling competition where we visit the camps and the campers basically provide. Okay, no problem. I'll take the call.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Go ahead with your question.
Good morning to everybody, and greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name.
Good morning.
No, good morning to you all. Now, first of all, Cartens here, I think you're probably getting mixed up with the labeling issue. That is supposed to end December the 30th. The grace period is supposed to end December the 31st, where people have to label the items that they're selling.
Okay.
Now, and another issue. First of all, I would like to say the Bible forbids government to be banning anything, and therefore such is wrong and counterproductive for the Bible for government to ban whatever. And to go more specifically into that, there's an article titled "Our Planet is Drowning in Plastic Pollution, but several solutions are already here, thanks to human ingenuity," and it is on fee.org, FEE.org. And FEE stands for Foundation for Economic Education. Now, what the article is saying is that the alternatives that are being proposed, including the paper alternatives and that sort of stuff to the plastic bags, they take a lot more energy to produce and to transport. And therefore, they are putting much more CO2 and that sort of stuff in the air. Now, for me, well, and one of the studies was done by the United Nations.
Caller, Greg, be as brief as possible, because remember this is a paid program, and go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to be because I'm going to finish right now.
Yes.
So my question is, I ain't got no problem with more CO2 going in the air. I ain't got no problem with that. But for all who have problems with more CO2 in the atmosphere, how can you all reconcile that with the banning of plastic bags, T-shirt plastic bags especially, since it put in more CO2 in energy, CO2 in the air through its production and transportation? Thank you.
I think if I'm mistaken, I think Greg just said that it takes more energy to produce the alternatives than the styrofoam items. I disagree with that. Of course, anyone can look for an argument or article which speaks to a particular narrative, but I think anyone who is listening and has an idea of what it takes to basically produce styrofoam and the chemicals that are involved in the production of this item, they will understand that the making and the production of the styrofoam containers or items are more hazardous to the environment. So I think that is something that Greg has to do some more research on, and as it relates to transportation, more research on, and as it relates to transportation, costly styrofoam or paper. I'm not certain on that, but I think transportation deal with packaging and weight, and I think paper and styrofoam, they may weigh around the same weight, but if I were to give a bet, I think paper alternatives are more are lighter and would be easier to transport. They may not be as durable as styrofoam, but I don't think there's a significant difference. I think people need to focus on the real issue.
But styrofoam's not really durable, because if you don't hold the container properly and it's overweight, it's laden with food, you see what can happen, right?
Yeah.
I think we're losing track of the point, and it is environment conservation. That is the main point. We can always speak on a particular topic, but the end result is environment conservation. And like I keep telling persons, there are no other island. I wouldn't say there's an island in the Caribbean that's more resilient, prouder, and more in tune to their nationality than St. Kitts. And if these other islands were able to adapt and comply to an even stricter ban on these items, St. Kitts shouldn't have a problem, and we don't have a problem with it. Are there conversations going on right now? Are there persons still feeling hurt about the banning of plastics? In fact, I'm speaking to persons, while I'm speaking to persons on the wage of persons are telling me, I have noticed a significant difference as it relates to plastic pollution. I haven't seen a plastic bag blowing nowhere for the last.
You're correct, you know.
I'm telling you, I haven't seen a plastic bag in the drain. I haven't seen a plastic bag blowing anywhere. The environment, our streets are a little cleaner.
Yep.
You know what I mean? When the guts run, they are a little cleaner because we are step by step, incrementally banning these harmful items. And we must understand we only can control what is in our power to control. Scientists cannot speak for other countries. We realize that these items are affecting us. So much so, we have to. We had a meeting, a consultation where we are trying to implement, find out the status of our landfill, and implement a comprehensive framework where we can deal with the situation as it relates to the limited lifespan the landfill have and what we're going to do going forward. Okay. And getting rid of banning these items greatly impacted the longevity, increase the longevity of the landfill, and help us as it relates to some of the issues we are facing. So I can't see a negative impact other than adjusting as it relates to banning these items. And I just want persons to understand that we cannot wait until we are neck deep in plastic pollution and then we start burdening the government. Yeah, I got to do something. The landfill is over. What make I see it happening? What make I, they just ban plastic? And what make I, they just ban styrofoam and find alternative? The alternatives out there. Look, Antigua did it. Look this, because the government have to take difficult decisions, but it must benefit their decisions that benefit not just the people, the environment, but also the people. And I would like to say that this initiative will benefit, as we've seen with the plastic bags. Persons now heading into the supermarket with their reusable plastic bags. I'm sure persons feel better about that. So that's something that we need to look at. We need to look at the purpose of this ban, and can we afford to not do something about it now?
Yep.
Do we have reusable plastic bags?
Reusable plastic bags?
Because I haven't seen any.
No, there are no reusable plastic bags. A person will say the plastic bags that we had were reusable, etc., but there are no reusable plastic bags.
Because I still, not only myself, we still have a problem in terms of when we buy certain wet goods.
Yeah.
These bags that they have, they cannot contain, like for instance, I went somewhere, I bought a bunch of mangoes, put them in a, fortunately the person had one of those older bags and put it in, and by the time I reached home, 3 of them had bust. Now I thought to myself, I said, wow, because all of the liquid was all over in the plastic. You could imagine if it was in one of these new bags that they're giving around. Also, recently I bought some saltfish, 3 packages of saltfish, and the saltfish was what they call pulak or whatever, so it has the moisture in it. So you see the moisture, but the Chinese individual called pulak or whatever, so it has the moisture in it. So you see the moisture, but the Chinese individual at the counter in a plastic now, could imagine if that was put into the bags that we're using, that would have smelled up the whole. So we need something that is durable enough to contain liquid but is disposable.
And definitely, like I said, there are those items out there, and it will just take time for the adjustment. Persons who are bringing in these bags, if there's a complaint, eventually once we realize that there are complaints about some of these bags that they're not quite compatible for the carrying of, say, wet
stuff.
And they're going to make, that is an opportunity for them to make money. So they're going to bring in these type of bags. However, it's just been 5 months since. All right. So I spoke. There's a shout out to David. He constantly speaks to me about the ban, and I tell him, listen, it'll take about, the ban is still going on, but for each phase, it'll take about, I would say, this is my personal opinion, based on what I've read, about 16 months after the last phase for things to really start feeling normal and for there to be a natural flow items, etc. But I like to tell persons that when I hear persons, not necessarily you, but a person will say, hey, I feel my argument about the plastic ban is the fact that when I can't carry wet stuff home, that's like about half an hour drive. So the environment, we should have not implemented this initiative. The environment should have continued dying just because a person don't want to clean a mess. I know some persons may hear me say that and may get offended, but think about it rationally and logically.
We're out of time. You're 3 minutes over, so we're gonna have to cut. But this is not an easy thing. See my bag there. I have tools. I have all kind of my phone or whatnot. I cannot afford for any liquid. Like if those mangoes was to bust and everything would be messed up. So it isn't as casual as you say.
It is. I know it is. Like I said, the end result. Sometimes that is why I tell persons, even I don't even want to get there. The reason why they're a political leader, a lot of time a political leader don't want to, this is the best decision to make, but it is going to be unpopular. And he don't want to go through the period of facing feedback, etc., even though eventually persons will see that it is a good initiative. And I think persons we realize that we're going to have to face a lot of the backlash. However, I guarantee you about this.
Look, it's a good initiative. Yeah. It is not, but there are some little bumps and things that you're going to have to iron out. Anyway,
I mean, how can we come and be out of power for 6 months? And trust me, people going to act like they're dying for 3 weeks, and then by the 5th month, everybody is living. I'm just saying there are certain things that need. This is something that it must be done. Our sink is going to be facing a problem. We don't want to hear tourists saying, I was swimming and I took a dive, I come up and a plastic bag is on my face.
We have to wrap up.
Exactly.
Though, because you remember someone accommodated you, so we
definitely
have to, unfortunately. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Right.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Here are your Horseman's Value Mart IGA special.
Running July 24 to August 6.
Now our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Langer's juices, just $11.99. Essential Everyday Single Slice Cheese, just $8.99. Culinary Circa Pizza, just $29.99. Stonebridge Ice Cream Sandwiches, $21.49 each. Essential Everyday Pasta Sauce, $9.99. Downy Liquid Fabric Softener, just $27.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Essential Everyday Pasta, $4.99. Essential Everyday Croutons, $5.99. Essential Everyday Balti Peanuts, $12.99. Chobani Greek Yogurt, $5.69. Chef Boyardee canned pasta and microwave pasta, $6.99. VO5 shampoo and conditioner, $5.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Carry Faster is Connections, community, and unity. It is understanding each other without saying a word. Separated by water, united in purpose. One voice, one story, one song. Carry Festa is we thing. Come for Carry Festa 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carry Festa.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea, and this segment, it's all about Social Security, and they will be speaking on the new Social Security levy threshold. I'll let them dive into it and tell you more, so I'll let them introduce themselves and let you know who they are, and they can dive right into the topic. Good morning to both of you, and welcome back to the studios of Island Tea.
Hi, morning.
Hi, good morning. My name is Omar Hodge. I'm the Senior Inspector in the Compliance Department.
And I am Nadia Demin, Marketing Officer for Social Security.
Okay. So we'll begin, lady or gentleman?
Okay, so the Senior Inspector, Omar, he would be able to go into more details as it relates to the levy. But recently, we released a press release as it relates to the changes of the levy deduction threshold. And we've been receiving a lot of calls, you know, how do I do my calculations for my workers, or how can I work out my money now, people personally who do their own budget. And I'm so proud of them for that. Yeah. But they've been calling, and we released also a table describing the threshold and where you may fall so persons can apply themselves. And some persons may have not understand this, so we wanted to come and share more light on the levy threshold, as that has been a hot topic recently. So July 1st is when the changes to the levy came into effect. Now I'm going to let Omar go into details as to how the levy is worked out, what people can expect, and how they can move forward.
Okay, so as Nadia said, effective July 1st, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis would have made some changes to the minimum wage. So the minimum wage is now at $500 weekly. And as a result of that, and there was some amendment to what we call the levy threshold. So the idea of the threshold is that persons who are paid below this particular threshold, they would not be subject to the levy, the HSD levy, the Housing Social Development levy. Persons who are above the threshold, as some persons would be aware, they would notice if they look at their pay slips. For most persons, they would see a 3.5% deduction that goes towards levy. So the idea of the threshold is for persons who fall below, at the minimum wage and below, they would be exempted from this levy deduction. So with the changes in the minimum wage increasing, the threshold was also increased to allow for that new minimum wage to be exempted from the levy deductions. So the new threshold was moved for weekly paid persons. So the threshold is based on pay periods. So we have some persons who are paid weekly, some persons who are paid every 2 weeks or every other week. We have some persons who are paid 2 set days a month, and then we have persons who are paid monthly. So there's a we call those pay cycles.
Okay.
So the threshold has been adjusted for each of those pay cycles. So for example, for a weekly paid worker, as long as you're paid $520 or less weekly, that's the new threshold, you would be exempted from that levy. Right? For persons who are paid every other week, so you get paid this week, skip next week, you get paid the following week, those persons, the threshold has been moved to $1,040. So you make $1,040 and below, and you're paid every other week, you are exempted from that levy payment.
Okay.
For those who are paid twice per month, so 2 set days every month, so some persons will get paid, for example, the 15th and the 28th every month. For those persons, the threshold is now at $1,126.67. And then for the monthly paid workers, once your monthly salary is at $2,253.33 and below, very specific, right? Once you're at that figure or below, then you will be exempted from this 3.5%.
Okay.
So essentially the change is basically for those making the minimum amount and below. So
Okay.
there's no change for persons who would have been above that threshold.
Okay.
Right? But I'll also expound, because there are what we call some tiers, levy tiers. So the deduction changes depending on where you fall in the tier. So the tier that we were just discussing, which is the minimum wage tier, that is considered tier 1. So for those persons now who are above the minimum but make less than $6,500 monthly, you would notice there's a 3.5% deduction that's made from your salaries monthly. However, there are some of us who make a little more than that. So we might make above $6,500, but below $8,000. So if you're in that bracket, you're now in tier 3. So what would happen if you fall within that space? You would see a deduction of 3.5% for that first $6,500, and let's say for an example you make $7,000, so you pay 3.5% on that $6,500, and then the additional $500 you pay 10% levy on that. So this is not new. This is how it has always been, but just for information's sake.
So 13.5% basically.
Well, it wouldn't be a straight 13.5 because remember the 3.5 is based on a certain amount.
Okay.
Right. Right. So the 10% would only be on the portion between 6,500 and 8.
Okay.
And there are some persons now who get paid $8,000 and more. Now, if you find yourself in that category, that's tier 4, and that category, there are 3 levels of deductions. So you start with the first 6,500, where you pay 3.5% on that portion. Then when you get to the portion between 6,500 and 8,000, you pay 10% on that portion. And then any amount over 8,000, so $8,000 1 cent and above, that portion is levied at 12%. So there were no change to these specific tiers, but just wanted to highlight them for the benefit of the public. So the last time I can recall, there was an increase in, I think it was when there was an increase in government salaries. So we received a lot of calls where persons were saying, well, I've noticed my deductions are much higher. And then in some of the cases, when we looked at the person individually, their salary increase would have moved them, for example, over the 6,500 threshold. So whereas once before that, they would have been accustomed to the 3.5% deduction.
Right.
Then they now moved into tier 3, for example, where they had that additional 10% levied on the portion over 6,500. So you found that they thought it was a new tax or a new levy, but it's just a matter that the increase in their salary moved them into a new threshold. Right.
Do you get a lot of complaints about that? Because, now you're making more money, you think you could do something extra, you had to pay a little extra on something.
We certainly do. We certainly do.
Okay.
Yeah, but I want to clarify as well, even though persons who are within the minimum wage, that they are exempted from levy. Levy and your social security contributions are two different things. So certain persons, they would call and they would say, okay, so no tax supposed to come out my money. I'd be like, no, my dear, you're a working citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis and you have to contribute to our development, right? And so if you are, like my colleague Omar mentioned, if you are within the minimum wage, you are exempted from levy. However, you still contribute to Social Security by law.
Yeah.
So that 5% still has to come out. But that 3.5%, once you fall within that minimum range, you are exempted. So I just want to clarify that. So for persons who are in the minimum wage field, Social Security still continues to be contributed, but your levy would be exempted.
Gotcha.
And also wish to add as well that as it relates to the employers, there's a 3% amount that the employers pay towards levy on behalf of their employees. That has not changed, so it continues to be the same 3%.
So that doesn't come out from the employee's pay,
No,
but of the employer's pocket.
Right.
Okay,
That's
got
correct.
you. Okay.
So that's the update. We anticipate that they would have persons who would have more specific circumstances. They would want to know how it affects their individual case, and we encourage persons to reach out to us. You can get into contact with any member of the compliance department who would be able to provide you with the necessary guidance. There are some employers who submit using our electronic portals. The portals would be updated to reflect the new changes. So the portal normally would do all the calculations for you.
Okay.
So for those persons, once their application is updated, then the new tiers would automatically be applied.
Okay.
Yes, and so I just want to take this opportunity to encourage persons to stay up to date with Social Security. You can continue to follow us on our social media pages. Also, for persons who want to share specific situations, we have our WhatsApp group where you can call and we can deal with you specifically. It's 667-2535. Or, our phone lines are always open at 465-2535. You can either ask for the Corporate Communications Department or the Compliance Department. But we just want persons to understand that this is not a new tax. We're not trying to dig in anyone's pocket. We're actually championing for you, for the working people. And so we just wanted to inform persons that, hey, you have a change as it relates to your money, and this is the tax. And we want persons to be law-abiding citizens and, comply to what is in place. So again, Social Security is always here for you. We're always looking out for you. And don't be afraid to call and share your situations. We are very empathetic when it comes to situations. And some of the situations, they are so different. I know some persons, they wouldn't want to call in on a radio to share their situation. So they are different and we deal with them in their own unique way. So.
There was talk being bandied about the Social Security age being raised to 65. Has that come into fruition?
Well, we are still on the topic of reform. Okay. Nothing has been officially made as yet, but we are still on the topic of reform. We are still championing for reform. And of course, WinFM is one of our places that we like to come and share our information. So once we have that solidified, we would be right back here to inform the public about that. But for now, we are still championing towards reform.
Okay. We have a lot of young people that work during the summer. And we know we say once you have work, you go and register.
Right.
If they work without registering, and I must ask, is there an age that they should register at? But if they work without registering, is that against the law or against, is it not beneficial for them then?
Okay, so yes, there's an age.
Okay.
So by law, once you're employed and you're between the ages of 16 and 62, you should be contributing towards Social Security. So even for persons who are working during the summer. So we know sometimes it's just a little summer job, a little, it's not necessarily anything too structured. There are those situations. There might be some flexibility, but if it's a employer-employee relationship, so I'm employed I'm reporting to your business place for a set time. I have to follow certain guidelines. I'm using your equipment, your tools, that sort of relationship. Then that person is employed, and the employer should be filing for them.
Okay. All right.
And I want to add, once they are coming to the office to register for Social Security, they must have an employer's letter.
Correct.
A certified employer's
So
letter.
you can't just come at 16 and say, I want to register?
Oh, no. You have to have gained full employment.
Right. What if at 16 I decide I want to be an entrepreneur? How does that work?
Then we have the self-employed option.
Okay.
Right? But once you are employed by a company, an organization, you have to have a certified employer letter. When we say certified, we need to see that letterhead. We need to see that contact information, not just on a plain piece of paper and say, okay, Joy McIntosh works for me. By whom? Who is me? So we need to see that letterhead, all that information, a certified employer letter, along with your passport or some sort of ID.
You said some sort of ID. It must be government?
Yes. So you can walk
okay.
with your birth certificate and maybe your driver's license, something like that, your voter's ID, government issued ID. Okay. You come and you fill the form, and then you would receive your Social Security ID. But you must be gainfully, fully employed.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add before we close out your segment this morning?
Well, just wanted to encourage our employers to do right by your employees and comply. The employers, for the most part, know what is expected of them. And we also encourage the employees as well. If you have any concerns as it relates to whether or not your submissions are being made, your contributions are being submitted, to reach out to us, to visit any member of the compliance unit, or just call in 465-2535 and inquire about your contribution status.
Okay. So we still have delinquent people that y'all need to go and walk
Unfortunately.
around with your big stick and tell them come pay the money. Okay. All right.
Yes, and before I leave, also I want to highlight that July is the self-employed celebration month. We are now at 29 years covering the self-employed. And so,
Congrats.
Yes. And so this is the month where also the self-employed has the opportunity to come in and change their contribution category.
Okay.
Remember, the more you contribute, the better you are when you're later down and you're not able to work. And so this is the month where, what today is? Today is the 30th.
No, we almost done.
Still there, but life is life in. And so we at Social Security, we understand that. And so this is your perfect opportunity, if you are self-employed, to come in and you can go one category up.
Allowed to come in and go up or come down.
Employed. So
that's what I mean, the self-employed. Yeah.
Right. Situation is unique, and once you come to us, we make our own discretion and we work with you. Remember, Social Security is here for you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes.
Congratulations again on your Oma, anything to add before we close it out?
The only thing I'll do is keep reminding our employees, comply, and protect your employees. Look out for the best interest of your employees.
Yes. Right. When you comply, you benefit.
Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty. So thank you both for coming in and educating us. It's been a while. I missed you guys, but thank you for coming back.
Oh,
and
thank
I
you.
Hope this is the first of many conversations we're going to have. Congratulations on 29. We look forward to 30 and many more. I'm one of the self-employed contributors. So
awesome.
Thank you for covering us. We appreciate that greatly.
Thank you for complying.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
Building supplies, electrical supplies, furniture appliances, carpets and tiles. It's the company where you can get it all. All at TDC, home and building depot. For lawn and garden, the TVs and stereos. All at TDC, home and building depot. Come on down, get what you're looking for. It's all at TDC, home and building depot.
Here are your Horseman's Value Mart IGA special.
Running July 24 to August 6.
Now our Value Club Blue Tax specials. Langer's juices, just $11.99. Essential everyday single slice cheese, just $8.99. Culinary circa pizza, just $29.99. Stone Ridge ice cream sandwiches, $21.49 each. Essential everyday pasta sauce, $9.99. Downy Liquid Fabric Softener, just $27.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Essential Everyday Pasta, $4.99. Essential Everyday Croutons, $5.99. Essential Everyday Party Peanuts, $12.99. Chobani Greek Yogurt, $5.69. Chef Boyardee canned pasta and microwave pasta, $6.99. VO5 shampoo and conditioner, $5.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be. It's the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. When I lime it at the beach on the town, Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be. It's the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
Send kits in Nevis. Time to get charged up for the Fuller Energy Home Series. West Indies is back at Warner.
Big, build strong, grow together. Let Hosford's building and Nevis centers lead the way. From tools to materials, we've got it every day. Hosford's building and Nevis centers, a name you can trust. For every dream protect, don't go and build with us. Dream with us, grow with us, build with us today. Hosford's is the partner that helps you pave the way.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Get ready to build, save, and celebrate. It's the Builders Paradise Culturama Weekend Sales Event. 3 days only, July 31st to August 1st. That's right, for one epic weekend. Take 25% off store-wide on all discountable items. From power tools to paint, tiles to timber, plumbing to finishes. Everyday low prices just got even lower. Don't miss your chance to stock up, step up, and save big this Culturama. Visit Builders Paradise at the Industrial Site Bastille. Call 869-466-4938 for more info. Builders Paradise. Build more. Spend less. Everyday low prices goes lower for Culturama.
This Culturama, it's time to celebrate culture, celebrate savings, celebrate at Hosford's. Hosford's Culturama sales event runs from July 31st to August 1st. 3 days only. Enjoy 25% off all discountable items store-wide at Hosford's Building and Nevis Centers, Hosford's Furniture and Appliances, Ashley Furniture Home Store, Hosford's Automotive Accessories and Spares, and Builders Paradise. And that's not all. Get double cash back at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Whether you're upgrading, renovating, or just ready to save, celebrate big this Culturama the Hosford's way. July 31st to August 1st. 3 days only at Hosford's. Everything you need under one roof. Terms and conditions apply. For Culturama to Independence is your time to ride in style and save all the while with Hosford's Automotive. Get up to $8,500 off on all models. No down payment, free bill of sale, 12 months of free servicing, or choose up to $1,000 in free groceries or free gas, your choice. And it doesn't stop there. Get free registration, licensing, tinting, and accessories. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a growing family, or just ready for an upgrade, this is your moment. Hurry in to Hosford's Automotive, St. Kitts and Nevis, and ride in style. Save all the while. Terms and conditions apply.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we're back on Island Tea. It's another Wednesday, and it is time for Farm Report. I know our time is different this week, but let's get it started. Good morning, Mr. Flanders. Welcome back.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me today. Today, what we want to look into is we're basically talking about politicizing one's livelihood. What happens when your livelihood, what your breadwinner, what you need to survive becomes a political tool, becomes a political football? Most times, it's to the detriment of those who are applying their trade, as we would have seen. Because I had the chance to listen to the press conference that the ministers had a week or so ago. And if you listen to the Minister of Agriculture, if you are a casual observer, you'll swear that things are just peachy in agriculture. Things are just going very well in the sector. You realize that politicians, they don't want to look bad, right? So when it's your livelihood at stake, they're going to do what they need to do to make it look as rosy as possible. They're going to say all the nice upticks because they don't want to take accountability for when things go south. They don't want to. I miss the days. That's one of the reasons I really can't take on the politicians of today, because the flavor has changed, everything has changed, right? I don't even if it's the Trump effect or anything like that, but everybody wants to be braggadocious, everybody wants to be hyperbolic, the best ever, the this, the that, most tremendous. Everybody wants to be all those superlatives. Nobody wants to take accountability. You find that when things going south, who they blame? The previous administration. We met it here, all the way back to 2, 3, 4 administrations ago. So you hear the minister talking about how production has increased so vastly. I think what he said was the largest planting program since sugar. What does that mean? The largest planting program since sugar. What does that mean in reality? So you would realize that when they were touting the 25 by 25, initially it was reduce imports by 25% by the year 2025. That was it. That was the tagline. As they realized that it was going and nothing was happening, they changed it to increasing production. What does that mean? Increasing production is not synonymous with reducing imports. And we have seen that. So they went and they started talking about increasing production, and then that's what he's talking about, this planting program. It's all about increasing production. But does that mean that the produce that were planted reached the hands of the consumer? Does that mean they were sold on the market and the farmers got money in the market and the farmers got money's in their pockets? Does that mean that our import was reduced? The answer is no. So you're touting this thing. I saw them had a statistic about 17% increase in production here, there, wherever. But yet, the import bill is still higher. Because some of the same fruits and vegetables he was touting, plantain, pineapple, you look at 2023 to controls all levels of production. The very land that you plant on, the government controls that. The services, they control that. The inputs, they control that. And so even the farmers want to try to be independent and do their own thing. It is so intertwined that there's no escaping. And so even if I come here, who else am I going to talk to? If I'm talking to somebody to better the sector, there's nobody else to talk to. But you realize that, I'm talking to somebody to better the sector. There's nobody else to talk to. But you realize that, some of these politicians have what we call willful ignorance. You want to tell me you don't listen to this show on a regular basis? As nobody, right, in fresh grapes. $1.9 million in fresh grapes. But we can't do nothing about that. We got no vineyards in St. Kitts. So we ain't going to even try to touch that. Mm-hmm. Right? You have things like, what else? Onions. 1.4 million in imports. We can do something about that. Because we are doing on a certain scale, we just need to be scaled up. So we can do something about that. We look all the way down to see pineapples and plantains, 100,000 here, 200,000 there.
That's the importation amount?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that was not one of the targets. And then you're asking the question, something we got into the supermarket, is the planting there knocking dog? Because the appetite for the market for planting is not that high. It's not everybody love the planting like that you need to have a whole plantation of planting. Whatever they were doing before, the market was satisfied. Because planting are spoiling. You talk about bringing all these bananas to plant. I went to the market 2-3 weeks in a row, we couldn't get no good bananas. Bananas take 9 months at least to reach to stage. So where all the bananas that you're boasting about planting a year or two ago, where are they? So the biggest planting program, but there's nothing. And so farmers were so annoyed, so upset when they saw the minister talking about how things are good, things are rosy. You actually don't know what's going on the ground. You are the minister, you don't know what's going on the ground. And at this point, we've just passed minister. We say the whole administration. They just don't appreciate agriculture. They don't know what's going on in agriculture, because all of this rhetoric and talk and boasting about what? There's nothing going on. Farmers are crying out every week. We're crying out. We're asking. Do you think they show here for style? 4 years now the consortium I'm trying to get something changed. I can't even hear about any new policies that came up to improve the sector. We need a ground-up revamping of the sector. We need government to be divorced from it. Give us an agricultural authority. Give us a statutory body. So that if you don't want to say, okay, my failures, I don't want to take responsibility, let somebody else take it, because that's what we like to do. Let somebody else take the hit for it. So if that's the case, we ask for that. We ask for a voice. We ask for some kind of board, some kind of committee that would help with the development of agriculture. Because clearly, it is not in the best interest of the politicians to be there to say, okay, we understand. In the private sector, you have an AGM. You must highlight why we made losses. You must tell the shareholders why the company is failing. We in Sync, the people, we are the shareholders. Tell us why agriculture is failing. You can't tell any lies, because that comes to fraud. You see, when all of these big companies, when they're trying to lie, cook the books, N1 and those, they try to cook the books, they fail. Because you can't fool the shareholders. You have to be straight, you have to be honest, you have to be transparent. So don't come out with this hubris as though things are so peachy. And the way he said is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Everything good. Everything is going well. But I already pointed out how we arrive at production data. And we know it's a flawed process. So we know the numbers that you get is not truly reflecting anything. Because you talk about some of the seedlings you gave out. How many came to maturity? Because farmers would tell us straight up, from all they gave us, I got 0. Because some of them was of such a low quality that you plant them and they reach nowhere. They would tell you, okay, yes, you just flood the market with all of these things. But when time comes for maturity, there was so much on the market, so much tomatoes, so much peppers at one time that they end up throwing them away. So you're going to talk about production is up. But is it translating to anything that is beneficial to the farmers, the farming community, and the country as a whole? Because our import bill is still high. And so the frustration is growing. Because you can't be telling everybody out there like we're out here talking just for the sake of it. We're just here talking to bash. But the reality is nothing is happening. We're not getting what we need. I see they're saying something for 40 million to build a port or something. What are we going to get over there? What are we going to get over in Africa? I keep asking, what are we going to send over there? How are we going to benefit the farming community? Tell us. We just want to know what is happening there. What are we going to send over there? Because right now, scale is an issue. There's a reason why we came out of sugar. The market conditions were not favorable. We could not handle the scale. There's a reason why the Windward was so good at banana production. But what happened? They kind of pulled back on that. So who are we to run into banana production now? We special like that? I don't understand. For centuries, the Windward handling it. We saw what happened. So we just buy banana suckers and plant. All the land could have been allocated to something that we are good at producing to reduce the import bill. All that land. I ain't even mention about Tabasco again because I tell you, because they're still touting that and nothing doing there.
Yeah, I want to take a call.
Sure.
Hello, caller.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Farm Report.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Peace to you and Mr. Flanders and everyone who's listening. And I bring peace from constituents. My name is Lincoln David Pell. I just want to say I hear the cry of the farmers of Mr. Flanders who come here week after week with the farmers' situation. But all I want to say to Mr. Flanders, we know that there's a history in this country where farming was doing well. And it was done under the People's Action Movement. And I'm just saying to the farmers, I do not want it to be too long, but the elections is not just now. But when that time comes, I'm asking for them to give the People's Action Movement that opportunity to govern this country, to give them what they're asking for. I'm sure Mr. Flanders could recall a lot of good things that used to happen and how the farmers used to prosper and provide. You remember that, Mr. Flanders?
Sorry?
I said, you remember the days when the farmers used to prosper and they used to, it wasn't no involvement, personal involvement in their fields, but they get help because the estates were in that time and the chapters used to go and plow the farm for those farmers. You remember those days?
Sure.
Right. So what I'm saying, the People's Action Movement, I know manifesto, we spoke a lot about farming because we know what farming means to our country and our development and to our people. If you have a strong farming industry, trust me, you have a wealthy nation, you have a healthy nation, and somewhat you have a reduced bill when it comes to that's what those big countries are looking for. They are subsidizing their farmers, not getting involved in it, but they're helping their farmers. And the People's Action Movement have the know-how, and you have the people who know what to do. So when we reach there, with the help of the farmers and their family, and everyone who wants to change in the farming industry or the farming sector, they will see the People's Action Movement did it then, and they will do it again and do it even better this time. And Mr. Flanders, I hope at that time we will be able to call on you for your expertise because we always believe in getting the right person involved. So I hope when we call, you will come. You will be able to come?
Sure, I'm willing. I'm willing to lend my expertise wherever they are needed.
Right, and remember this is for our nation, our beloved St. Kitts and Nevis. So just my little input there to let you know, we in the People's Action Movement take farming very serious and take the farmers serious because we see not just people doing a job that sometimes, let me say no because I think that's what I think you mentioned it one time, how they look down on farming. But we look at farming as a business. It could uplift the individual and it could lift up our nation because that's what it does to the bigger nation. How come the bigger nation don't look at farming in that way? I'm not sure. But you realize the farmers cause roadblocks and all kind of things when things are not going their way. You remember in Canada?
And in Europe?
You remember Europe? What I'm saying, because they know how important the farming industry, the farming sector is. And we should put some premium on the farming sector, and that's what the People's Action Movement is all about. So giving people their just reward when they work hard, and to make sure the people themselves do it, and not we try to dictate and control everything, because the government is not in the farming business. Because if they had an outcry with the sugar, you remember that, the sugar, why should now the government get back into that large-scale farming? It's best to let the individuals do it. And I think the government could gain more and the country could benefit more from that. But God bless you. God bless St. Kitts and Nevis. God bless Constitution number 7. And God bless our soil to produce good food, sweet food, as normal. You all have a blessed day. God bless St. Kitts and Nevis. Peace to all. Peace to St. Kitts and Nevis.
Thank you, caller.
Now, I noticed something recently because I've always wondered why is it that the farmers are getting all this negative from the system, from the government. And I must admit that I'm not au fait with everything, but recently I realized like people have always been asking you to get involved in politics, and you say, as you rightfully do, that you don't want to get involved. But I realized that there are farmers who are involved in politics, and I think this is a good thing. But having come to that realization, then I said to myself, I now think I understand why the system is dealing the way it is dealing. I feel it is wrong, but I think the system, instead of looking at these individuals as farmers who are involved in politics, they're seeing rivals and rivalry. And I think that our political system must become mature enough to understand that we are in a democracy. And if you are in a democracy, farmers can be involved in politics, But even though they are involved in politics, their livelihood, their main thing is farming. So find ways of making sure that they can survive. Don't say, well, okay, I look across there and I see Mr. Flanders and he's on the rival party, so I'm going to impede his progress as a farmer, when we know that we want to feed ourselves as a people. So I just wanted to say that.
And that's one of the reasons why I said that once you politicize your livelihood, you're going to be in a world of hurt and trouble. Because the politicians, we did not set out to make it an antagonistic relationship. That was never the goal. The goal is to be a part of, as I said, the policy, the decision-making process, crafting these things. But politicians cannot accept that, okay, I might be wrong. Okay, there's a good idea out there that is not mine. I can listen to you, and we can come together. Why do you need to fight when we make a suggestion? Why did there be antagonism amongst us, farmers, and the government? It doesn't make any sense to me. Because if the farmers succeed, you are going to look good. You are going to succeed. It's as simple as that. You could say, see, like for example, the minister keep talking about this $19 million that fishers achieve, right? The fishing sector. Keep touting that one. But the reality is that the fish aggregating device, our FADs, they were in place 2-3 years prior, because it takes a while for the fish to, populate the area. And so now that those were there in place for so long, because fishermen help with that, everybody help with that, because you from consultation, they realize, okay, not enough fish in the ocean, let's trade. So they worked together, and they were able to put down the FADs, and so now you're reaping the benefit. And now you're boasting, saying, we did this and we did that. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You're supposed to be able to say, okay, let me listen to the fishermen. Because what policy did you put in place to bring fish in the ocean? You can't wait until the fish come, right? You could clearly see that because of what happened prior, you were able to get the fishes in the area. And so that's how it's supposed to be. Give us the tools, work with us as farmers, so that we're able to make you look good. Yeah. So you don't have to be out there trying to dodge and thing and this antagonistic. Nobody wants to be in everyday drama and kind of thing there. You want things as fair as possible. And these things that it is so clear. What we're asking for, nothing too heavy, we want policies that don't allow us to be taken advantage of. We don't want to go in and say, okay, I need some concession on this. Please, sir. Please, sir. We need to know that there's a policy. You take the box, you check the boxes, you go in. Okay, that's for you. We want to know land. I saw something on social media. I don't know how true it is. A livestock farmer was complaining about their lands being bulldozed and their animals dying and that kind of stuff by the government. I don't know how true it is, but it's on social media. But the point is that if there was proper land tenure policies in place, that would not be a problem. If the livestock farmer was able to acquire enough land to raise the animals, that would not be a problem. So we're talking about simple things that we need that would help the sector to grow. Nobody want to give nobody a black eye. It's not about fighting, it's not about antagonizing anybody. It's not about pushing any political agenda. But the sad reality is, as I've stated many a times, there is a connection, a deep connection between agriculture and the government. I've said them, I've given the examples where the government control this, control that. So persons who are thinking, okay, you're bashing the government, what is this show for? It is to agitate for change. That's the nature of this show, to agitate for change. Let us work together to get change. You can't out there saying things nice and rosy when it's not the truth. It is not the truth. It is not nice and rosy because the data shows it is not nice and rosy. The data shows imports are increasing. Data shows the farmers are controlling less and less of the market share. The data shows there's saturation of certain fruits and vegetables because the importing is still high. And there's no policy for trade that could help the farmers protect the young markets. So
you can see it when you go to the supermarkets.
Yes, you can.
I remember when you go to the supermarket, Rams and Hosfords and so forth, and you could see an abundance of local produce. Now, where is it?
Hardly.
Let's use sweet potato as an example.
I was just going to ask about pineapple before you go to sweet potato. Are those pineapples that are on the table of vendors, are they local or are they imported?
I think by now some of them come into fruition, so some of them should be local. A good deal should be local.
All right, Craig, go ahead.
So let's use sweet potato. Sweet potato, tell me, you're the farmer. Well, I do some farming, but I would give away to you because you're more knowledgeable in this than me. Sweet potato is a mainstay in our diet, isn't it?
For the most part, yes.
Because people use sweet potato in soups. People use sweet potatoes in pies and different things. We grew up on sweet potato.
Yes, we did.
Whether we're going to boil it,
Soup
just boil a bunch of sweet potato and then take them out the pot, take off the skin, eat them.
Roast, boil,
So sweet potato. But most of the times when I go into the supermarket of late, I can't see local potatoes. I'm seeing these foreign ones. And the problem with these foreign ones, they cannot, you got to be a magical cook to cook those things. Almost no time, and they're disintegrating on you. So
what happened with sweet potatoes is that over the years, people give it different causes, but some saying that when you use the same genetic material over time, when you have inbreeding over time, the offspring would be less and less and small. So over time, there was a problem. There were two problems. That tuberization, they were a lot smaller, and so they were not really marketable over time. So we had to try and upgrade the genetic planting material. And then there was a weevil that had infected the tomatoes some time ago. And that weevil was causing some havoc in our sweet potato production. So it was a lot of hits that our local sweet potato got. Right? And so they were trying to work on it. There are programs launched to try to get it back to where it needs to go. And so it's trying kind of going there. But some of the sweet potatoes are still very small, so like picking, as we call them. Right? So that's the problem with the local ones right now. They're trying, but we're not there yet.
And these are the things that we should be able to work on. This is where the emphasis should be placed.
Exactly.
As a Caribbean people, sweet potato is important to us. So find a way to get it back to that grade where it is marketable and palatable and healthy.
And that's one of the biggest frustrations we're having, because we haven't seen any...
We have a caller, by the way.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Farm Report.
Yes, I'm calling in. The gentleman, Mr. Flanders, you know, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Flanders, I think you all should have a serious talk with you all, with the farmers, in the sense that that they need to present, well, at least certain of them need to present their stuff a whole lot better. Okay? The reason why I said that is that actually I went into a certain business and I bought some Irish potato. And they asked, are these local? And the people who work in there say, yes, they are local Irish potato. And the potatoes, they are very dirty. Dirty up my hand and that sort of stuff. And I had to take them up and put them in the plastic and that sort of stuff to wear them out and that sort of stuff. And I think you all should speak with the farmers and tell them, hey, present your all stuff a whole lot better. Because people are supposed to be going in markets and that sort of stuff and dirtying up the hand just because they touch your products and them sort of stuff. They're supposed to be clean and very presentable. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That is a salient point, because I find of late that is where we're failing. Even when you go to the vendors who are on the side roads and that kind of stuff, what makes them feel that because we're local, you should just give us these things without washing them? Back in the day, I remember when I first started doing farming, I used to do obs and time, a whole lot of obs and time. Now, the kind of work it would take to clean obs, and you understand?
Yeah.
Because I had to get them clean and put the time and blah, blah, blah. And that's a lot of work. But now people don't want to put in the work. It is easier to wash some potatoes than to clean obs and time. So speak to that.
Yeah, when you realize that marketing, right? There's the 4 P's of marketing. Product is one of the most important parts of marketing, that P. And so you have to present your product in the best possible light. And so I agree that if you want to market your products, you must present them in a way that is appealing to the buyer, or else they're going to reject your product. And so you need to be able to properly sort, grade, pack, wash, all that kind of stuff. You need to be able to do that. Right? So farmers need to, yes, where they can, come better and get the stuff looking more presentable. So I agree with that. You need to go and, clean them, wash them. 'Cause even when you're cleaning, that's part of sorting. You see a bad one with the side. So that should be a part of the process. So
You
yes.
have a caller.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Farm Report.
Greetings and love. Greetings and love to the item. A quick question there for the farmer. What type of seed you all use? GMO or organic seeds? And if you use GMO seeds, do you know how we can get hands on some organic seeds? That's my question. Give thanks.
Okay. All right. So for the most part, the seeds that we use here in St. are some form of hybrid, right? Which means that they were. People think GMO is a dirty word, right? It's a dirty word for some people, but the hybrid seeds allow for higher yields. It allows for less susceptibility to certain diseases, to the heat, that kind of thing. So for the most part, if you're going to be able to feed people, you need to use those hybrid seeds, or else you're not going to get much. You can always check the Department of Agriculture. They should be selling seeds, both open pollinated, organic, and both hybrids. So you should be able to hit them up and see. And you're also allowed to import your seeds from online. You can check like Johnny's Seeds. That's a nice website. Harry's Seeds. That's a nice website. Don't do the Amazon thing because they're not on the list. Right? They're not on the list for what the department would allow. You go to Johnny's Select, you go to Harry's Seed and some other seed websites, and you have options there from organic to hybrids, everything like that. But GMO is not a bad word, so don't be afraid to use it. Because it helps in one way. Some seeds are designed that when the plant comes up, you don't have to use as much chemicals because they already have built-in protection against certain diseases. So you don't have to put all the fungicides and the herbicides because the plant itself has a built-in mechanism to protect against that, right? So it's not always a bad word. So don't think you should run from using that.
But don't you think that perhaps some of those things that have been placed in there might be adverse, might be detrimental to us over the long run?
That's the thing. Science have shown that there's no correlation between any detrimental effects and what's happening. Because here's the thing, right? Some of the GMO seeds, what they're doing is just speeding up what science would have done otherwise. Because they realize that some plants, they're out there in the wild, and they might have cross-pollination naturally. The wind blow, the pollen from here goes to there, naturally. And so science just say, okay, well, we could do this faster then. And so they're able to, if you look at the history of some of your favorite fruits and vegetables, 50 years ago, 75 years, you can't recognize them at all. Like, look at the maize that you hear about the Mayans and them using the maize and the kind of stuff. Look at the corn today. Look totally different. Because over time, science would have, changed the structure and everything to make it better for our consumption.
Well, I hear you, but I still feel that over time, that's why we're having some. I agree with you to some extent. And you're the young one who has studied this to some extent. But I'm also aware, because I do some science myself, that there are some setbacks in some of them. So I still feel that one should do research as to where they get their seeds from and so forth, as opposed to just taking every seed that comes from foreign. That is what I feel.
A lot of questions are also around some of the genetically engineered ones, like when you try to mix organic animals and plants, right? Because there's this one called Bacillus thuringiensis that's in corn, and that allows the corn to be not too vulnerable to certain diseases. So in America, that's what they use, right? That corn, that's BT corn they call it. That corn, you just plant it, and the worms that used to eat it no longer eat it because they're going to fall dead from that. But it's just the bacteria producing certain chemicals that would allow them to be able to fight off all those things. Because what is the advantage? You don't have to douse all this pesticide in the field anymore. So what you prefer now? The GMO corn or the organic corn, but you put all kind of pesticide and stuff in it, like to try to prevent it from getting eaten alive by the bacteria and the worms and stuff like that, right? So it is not too sinister, right? It's not a sinister motive out there. It's more, it's a money motive, right? Because everybody want to make more money and stuff like that. But if you say money is involved, all evil, I could see might be sinister in a sense, but for the most part, it is for the benefit of feeding people.
I guess we can sum it up by saying we don't live in a perfect world.
True.
And we can't have everything exactly the way we want it.
Yeah.
and the population. I mean, it's amazing when you hear some places and you hear the population is 200 and something million people, and you're thinking, wow, and that is only one place. And then China, billion,
1.43 billion.
So yeah, people got to find ways of mass producing food.
That's it.
So there's a fallout.
Not only mass producing, but also to get as much nutrients. Like, you have this thing called golden rice, and they normally give that to African countries and stuff like that. People have a issue with it, but that rice contains so much nutrients, they pump so much vitamin and stuff in it, because when you eat that meal, they want you to get as much as possible in your system. Right? One of the professors asked us at time in class, what you rather, have them starving or give them the golden rice? That's a question. That's a hard question, because there's no science saying that the rice can kill them, but yet they are dying from starvation. So what do you do?
Yeah.
Right? So these are the questions you have out there in science and agriculture and food. Right? So
it's like a give and take.
Give and take. Yeah. Catch-22 in a sense. If there's proof that it's detrimental to us.
Yeah.
Right?
So wrap up now.
Okay, all right, so in wrapping up, I just want to say, again, as I've said many times, the farmers are looking for a partnership. We want to help to get the sector better. It doesn't make sense to claim a fool's goal and say things are very peachy, very good. They are not. They are not. The data shows they are not. Use the data, use the information, help us to help you to get the sector back on track. And I mean, we haven't had a sit down with the ministry in almost 2 years now. Nobody cares. We can cry every week, but nobody listening. It falls on deaf ears. But we're going to continue talking. We're going to continue crying. And hopefully, a lot of us and our farmers can rise above politics, understand that your livelihood is at stake. Yeah. Your very livelihood is at stake. Forget the politics. Rise above it and fight for what you believe in. Fight for your trade. Right? So that is it for this week.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, and well, you're no stranger to us.
Thank you for having me again.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot It's hide. Always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the